Just moments ago, court documents were unsealed, revealing the names of people associated to convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Could you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein's mysterious empire skillfully concealed some of the most deadly secrets of our time. Behind the public stories and legal proceedings, there's a more complicated and unsettling tale. This story, meticulously shielded by the FBI, dives into the complex web of Epstein's connections and the identities of those implicated. Epstein's death may seem like the end of one part of this intrigue. However, it has sparked numerous questions. What was the vastness of his network? And what was the nature of their unlawful deeds? Join us as we unravel 10 things the FBI is hiding about Jeffrey Epstein.
You know, I'd like to respond to all your, if any, questions seem to be relevant. But
Number 10. The circumstances of his death. In 2007, Jeffrey Epstein found himself facing federal charges for his deeply disturbing crimes. The world watched with anticipation as the case unfolded, expecting the delivery of justice. However, what followed shocked and angered many. Epstein, with the assistance of Alexander Acosta, the U.S. attorney at that time, managed to strike a highly controversial plea deal. Instead of facing federal charges that could have resulted in a significant prison sentence, Epstein chose to plead guilty to lesser state charges, such as solicitation of prostitution and procurement of minors for prostitution. This lenient sentence was not just a legal trick. It felt like a slap in the face to the victims and ignited serious questions about the fairness of the justice system. The injustice didn't stop there. Epstein's plea deal allowed him to serve a mere 13 months in a private wing of the Palm Beach County Jail. This so-called sentence even included a work release program, permitting him to leave the jail for up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. The level of leniency bestowed upon someone with such wealth and connections was unmatched, leaving many to wonder about the preferential treatment he received. Adding to the controversy, the plea deal included a non-prosecution agreement, granting immunity to any potential co-conspirators involved in Epstein's crimes. This not only meant Epstein received a light sentence, but his wealthy and influential associates were shielded from facing any legal consequences for their involvement. Speculation about who else might have been involved in Epstein's criminal activities further intensified. The controversy reached new heights when it was revealed that Acosta failed to inform Epstein's victim about the agreement. This lack of transparency and disregard for the rights of the victims deeply eroded public trust in the justice system. The lenient sentence and the non-prosecution agreement triggered outrage, leading to widespread calls for accountability. In 2019, a federal judge ruled that the non-prosecution agreement violated the rights of Epstein's victims, opening the door for further investigations and potential charges against his co-conspirators. However, while awaiting trial, Jeffrey Epstein's life came to a mysterious end on August 10, 2019. The circumstances surrounding his death became a subject of intense speculation and controversy. Was it suicide, homicide, or something even more sinister? Exploring the theories and puzzling details surrounding Epstein's death, the official cause, as ruled by the medical examiner, was suicide by hanging. According to the official narrative, Epstein used a bedsheet to end his life in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City. However, this conclusion faced widespread skepticism and disbelief. Many found it difficult to believe that Epstein, who was under suicide watch at the time, could have successfully taken his own life. Suicide watch, a precautionary measure for individuals deemed at risk of self-harm, involves constant monitoring and heightened security measures. The fact that Epstein was able to carry out such an act while under this level of supervision raised serious questions about the competence and integrity of the prison system. The circumstances surrounding Epstein's death became even more suspicious with reports of an alleged lack of proper monitoring by the prison guards on duty that night. It was reported that the guards assigned to watch Epstein were asleep and failed to conduct the required checks on his cell. This level of negligence was deeply concerning and fueled speculation about the possibility of foul play. Number 9. It was homicide. The drama surrounding Epstein's demise deepens as the New York City medical examiner labels it a suicide, a verdict challenged by Dr. Michael Baden, a forensic pathologist known for his involvement in high-profile cases. Baden, summoned by Epstein's brother, brings an intriguing twist, leaning towards a homicide narrative. His extensive experience, including investigations into President John Kennedy's assassination and the O.J. Simpson trial, adds weight to his dissenting view. Amidst the official suicide ruling, Bodden points out peculiarities in the autopsy: fractures around the larynx and a crushing neck injury, inconsistent with typical hanging scenarios. The complexity amplifies as criminal law expert Dmitry Shakhnovich underscores that such fractures suggest foul play, turning attention to potential homicide. The narrative takes a puzzling turn when Epstein's prior incidents in the prison come to light. 3 weeks before his death, he was discovered semi-conscious, claiming an assault by a fellow inmate. Despite officials asserting a suicide attempt, the subsequent removal of Epstein from suicide watch raises eyebrows. Negligence follows, with guards reportedly asleep, and malfunctioning cameras further shrouding the circumstances. The absence of proper protection and evaluation at the alleged crime scene raises alarms, especially considering the irregularities within the federal prison system. Dr. Barbara Sampson's firm stand on her office's investigation, despite not examining Epstein's body, adds a layer of mystery. The removal of Epstein's cellmate intensifies the intrigue, hinting at potential hidden motives. Epstein's death, initially declared a suicide, now unfolds as a complex enigma. With dissenting expert opinions, unresolved questions, and a backdrop of irregularities, the story takes on a worrisome air, leaving room for speculation and suggesting a narrative more intricate than the official account. Number 8. His relationship with Prince Andrew. In the early 2000s, Prince Andrew forged a connection with the enigmatic billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, a man of vast influence and wealth. Their companionship unfolded amid numerous social gatherings, where Epstein's expansive network provided Andrew with invaluable opportunities and access to powerful individuals. The infamous Little St. James, Epstein's private island, became a hotbed for the wealthy and influential, hosting worrying activities as Epstein faced allegations of running trafficking ring, exploiting underage girls for the pleasure of his well-connected friends. The revelations reached a tipping point in 2015 when Epstein faced charges of abusing a minor. Despite the scandal, Prince Andrew, against public scrutiny, continued his association, even organizing a surprise birthday celebration for Ghislaine Maxwell at the Queen's estate in Sandringham. The dynamics of the friendship faced a severe test in 2019 when Epstein was arrested again on federal trafficking charges, sparking a surge in public demand for answers and accountability. Buckingham Palace staunchly defended Prince Andrew, asserting his ignorance of Epstein's illicit activities. Nevertheless, court documents from 2016 formally implicated Prince Andrew in Epstein's ring, accusing him of engaging in encounters with underage girls. Attempting to clear his name, Prince Andrew agreed to an interview with journalist Emily Matlis, which unfortunately backfired, casting him as evasive and out of touch with the gravity of the allegations. Prince Andrew strongly denied any recollection of meeting Virginia Roberts, who accused him of conduct when she was 17. He insisted that he was at home with his children on the specified date, attributing his lack of sweat to a medical condition. Despite acknowledging staying at Epstein's house in 2010 to sever ties with him, he maintained ignorance of any suspicious activities or young girls during his visit. Expressing regret for the trip in hindsight, Prince Andrew argued that his association with Epstein had furnished him with valuable opportunities. In 2021, Prince Andrew faced legal consequences when Virginia Jeffery, one of Epstein's alleged victims, sued him for assault. The public closely monitored the legal battle, which concluded in 2022, with Prince Andrew agreeing to pay an undisclosed sum to a charity of Jeffrey's choice. Widespread disbelief and disappointment followed, questioning Prince Andrew's suitability as a representative of the royal family. Despite the persistent controversies, Prince Andrew continued to make public appearances, prompting protests and calls for him to step down from his royal duties. Buckingham Palace, under mounting pressure, announced the indefinite suspension of Prince Andrew's public duties, though the royal family continued to bear the cost of his security due to perceived threats on his life. Number 7. J.P. Morgan's actual involvement. The Epstein case took a darker turn as allegations surfaced, suggesting that influential figures, from politicians to businessmen to celebrities, were not only aware of his illicit activities, but may have even participated in them. It appeared that Epstein had carefully woven a web of powerful individuals who turned a blind eye to his crimes. While some strongly denied any association, others faced public scrutiny. A recent and explosive claim implicated Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, one of the world's largest banks. The accusation suggests that Dimon knew about Epstein's trafficking activities and may have even facilitated them through J.P. Morgan. These allegations emerged during a hearing in the Virgin Islands case against J.P. Morgan, which is already facing multiple lawsuits, alleging its involvement in Epstein's trafficking scheme. During a 3.5-hour hearing, the Virgin Islands government's lawyer revealed emails indicating that money transfers from Epstein were pending Diamond's review in August 2008. That was just months after Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor in Florida. This raised eyebrows and serious questions about Diamond's knowledge and potential complicity at a time when Epstein's criminal activities were known. Diamond's scrutiny intensified as the Virgin Islands government gained a subpoena to investigate what he knew and when he knew it.
Mystery and mystique as to how this happened. How was Jeffrey Epstein allowed to kill himself?
This development coincided with J.P. Morgan filing a third-party complaint, blaming its former executive, Jess Staley, for any improper actions related to Epstein. Staley, with ties to Epstein, had served as the CEO of Barclays and stepped down during the hearing. During the proceedings, the Virgin Islands lawyer highlighted the inconsistency in blaming Staley while questioning why Diamond, as the CEO, should not be held accountable. J.P. Morgan released a legal brief denying any involvement by Diamond, asserting that he did not interact with Epstein's accounts during the relevant period. However, a federal judge rejected these claims, allowing the government to subpoena Diamond, indicating potential merit to the allegations. J.P. Morgan's official response is denial, dismissing the entire case as an attempt by the Virgin Islands government to generate headlines. Yet, the ongoing investigation and legal proceedings will unravel more truths. While the current case is civil litigation, history has shown that criminal prosecutions often stem from revelations in civil lawsuits, as seen in the initial stages of the Epstein case. The financial world watches closely for Diamond's response, recognizing that the unfolding events may lead to further revelations and potential legal consequences. Number 6. The Island. Found on the island is a mysterious blue-striped building resembling a temple, adorned with a gleaming golden dome. Epstein's staff hinted that it served as a music room, where the disgraced philanthropist would showcase his skills as a classically trained pianist. Yet, whispers circulated, suggesting a more secret purpose, an elevator concealing a passage to a hidden locale. While some dismissed the notion of an elevator within, a contractor shed light on the peculiarities surrounding this temple. Dismissing the possibility of an elevator, the contractor noted a striking feature: an oversized lock securing the temple's door, adorned with a huge wooden bar. The contractor remarked that what makes it peculiar is that if you wanted to keep people out, the bar would be placed inside the building. But the locking bar appears to be placed on the outside, as if it were intended to lock people in. It's no secret that Epstein had a keen interest in pirates and the allure of hidden treasures on the island.
The secluded island where the late Jeffrey Epstein is accused of trafficking underage girls.
What adds a twist to this tale is that he would generously reward his staff for finding intriguing items. If his team stumbled upon something of value, Epstein would reportedly compensate them, offering anywhere from a few $100s to a whopping $1,000, depending on the significance of the discovery. The island's air was often tinged with excitement, as staff members eagerly searched the surroundings, hoping to find hidden gems that might catch Epstein's eye. The bounty varied, from ancient rum bottles to antique plates and assorted dishware. Each discovery became a chance for both exploration and reward, turning the island into a treasure trove of mysteries and unexpected finds. There are speculations that Epstein's fascination with treasure hunting served as his getaway, an escape from the harsh reality of his criminal pursuits. It provided a brief respite, offering him the opportunity to immerse himself in a more innocent and diversionary pursuit. Epstein's island home revealed another shocking aspect: a collection of peculiar artwork featuring political figures. One such piece, titled "Parsing Bill," depicts former President Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress and high heels while pointing directly at the viewer. The symbolism lies in the blue dress, similar to the one linked to Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky, becoming a piece of evidence. This unusual discovery was initially captured by the Daily Mail in 2012. Another striking artwork, titled "War Games," portrays former President George Bush seated on the White House floor, engaged in a playful session with paper airplanes. The imagery includes two toppled Jenga towers, symbolizing the allegations of manipulating the 9/11 attacks to justify the Iraq War. The painting portrays Bush in a somewhat childlike manner, offering a unique perspective on historical events. With a fondness for secrecy and an unwavering commitment to privacy, Epstein ensured that law enforcement was kept at bay, forbidding them from setting foot on his property. His vigilant security personnel continuously patrolled the docks, thwarting any attempts by authorities to check on Epstein. When officials dared to approach, his guards dismissed them, asserting the grounds as private property. Denise George, the Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands, recounted instances where officers were promptly halted at the docks during their efforts to investigate. Epstein's determination to shield his activities extended to his communication channels. Not content with mere caution, he reportedly employed individuals to establish a private network for his phone calls and internet use. This wise move ensured that authorities remained in the dark, unable to trace or monitor his communications. The intricate layers of Epstein's fortress of secrecy and evasion come to light, revealing a carefully thought-out plan to maintain an impenetrable shield around his actions.
Why would the CIA not want Epstein alive? Because he has a lot of information
on.
Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the twisting world of federal law enforcement, a secret force operates beyond the public gaze, the FBI. Cloaked in mystery, these silent agents navigate the shadows to safeguard the nation's security. Tasked with unraveling puzzles that span cybercrime, terrorism, and the darkest corners of society, the Bureau's agents embody a commitment to justice that transcends recognition. Behind the closed doors of Quantico, trainees transform, emerging as faceless guardians of order and resilience. The Bureau's silent pursuit extends beyond the digital frontier, delving into mysteries and covert operations that define its legacy. In this elusive realm, the agents chase shadows and pursue justice, their identities concealed, but their impact profound. The untold stories within the FBI's walls paint a portrait of tireless dedication, where every piece of evidence unravels a puzzle and every operation unfolds like a covert dance in pursuit of truth. As the Bureau continues to operate in the shadows, its enigmatic essence remains an enduring symbol of the unseen guardians who navigate the complexities of crime, reminding us that sometimes justice is best served when shrouded in mystery. However, in light of recent events, can we be confident that the FBI's standards remain untarnished and have not been compromised? Number 5. What his workers know. Epstein intelligently crafted a network of eyewitnesses who bore witness to his unsettling lifestyle. Let's delve into some of their startling revelations, starting with the infamous Boeing 727, aptly called the Lolita Express. This curious aircraft wasn't just a mode of transportation for Epstein, it was a soaring playground for his twisted desires. Reports reveal that the plane was meticulously designed to cater to Epstein's every whim. Padded floors ensured maximum comfort for his guests, while monogrammed tissues, wet wipes, and bottles of baby lotion stocked on board left no room for doubt about the nature of Epstein's intentions. The Lolita Express, capable of accommodating up to 29 passengers, played host to some of the most prominent names in politics, entertainment, and royalty. Former President Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, actor Kevin Spacey, comedian Chris Tucker, and supermodel Naomi Campbell were among those who boarded this aircraft. However, the shocking truth unravels as prosecutors allege that the Lolita Express was more than a luxurious jet. It was a tool for Epstein's trafficking operation. This airborne conveyance shuttled victims between Epstein's large mansions in New York, New Mexico, Paris, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Palm Beach. Epstein's chief pilot, with years of service, acknowledges knowing there were minors on board but claims ignorance of the atrocities transpiring while he commanded from the cockpit. Conversely, Epstein's second-in-command pilot testified in 2009, recounting an instance where he observed Epstein, Prince Andrew, and a 17-year-old Virginia Roberts flying to Epstein's private island. Now, what remains of the once infamous Lolita Express? It sits abandoned beside a runway in Georgia, a decaying relic echoing the dark secrets it once carried. The carpet, bedding, furniture, appliances, and even the wet wipes are now molding within its forsaken interior. Number 4. Epstein blackmailed Bill Gates. Explosive revelations tied Jeffrey Epstein to Bill Gates in a web of intrigue and alleged blackmail, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. Unnamed sources reveal that Epstein sought to coerce the Microsoft co-founder into supporting a charitable foundation, promising him millions in fees. Bill Gates, a global billionaire and philanthropist, reportedly had multiple encounters with the notorious trafficker Epstein. The suspense heightens.
That is the best part.
they actually give you a degree.
As the plot unveils a targeted blackmail scheme. The journal details an encounter in 2010 when Gates met a young bridge player. Epstein crossed paths with her later, attempting to fund her startup but eventually supporting her education in coding. The tension escalated in 2017 when Epstein allegedly emailed Gates, demanding reimbursement for the woman's course expenses, an email laced with implicit threats to expose their affair. Epstein, with a history of trying to establish a charitable foundation at J.P. Morgan Bank involving Gates and other affluent individuals, aimed to rake in millions in fees. However, Gates resisted the plan. The journal's report unfolds a complex narrative, portraying Epstein's attempts to intertwine with Gates in financial endeavors while insinuating the use of a potential scandal for leverage. Gates's spokesperson strongly denies any financial transactions with Epstein, emphasizing that Gates neither reimbursed Epstein nor endorsed the proposed foundation. Gates openly admits the mistake of ever associating with Epstein, distancing himself from the convicted sex offender. Bill Gates now joins the list of influential figures associated with Epstein, having been revealed to have connections through meetings, dinners, and even flights on Epstein's private jet, known infamously as the Lolita Express. The unfolding drama paints a vivid picture of the relationships and alleged manipulations in Epstein's controversial world. Number 3. Clinton is being protected. From the hidden corners of intrigue, a figure steps into the limelight, none other than the esteemed former President Bill Clinton. Unveiled documents tell a tale of Clinton's repeated entries in Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, signaling numerous visits to the worrisome island. These revelations ignite a blaze of questions about the complexities of their connection and the secret affairs unfolding on the secluded island. Despite bold denials from Clinton,
not merely to consume the bounty of today, but to invest for a much greater one tomorrow.
Who insists on only a handful of journeys aboard Epstein's private jet, the sheer frequency of these visits and the caliber of companions accompanying him raise inquisitive eyebrows. Speculation runs rife about the genuine nature of their association, intensifying the scrutiny on Bill Clinton. Yet, the unsealed documents not only bring the former president under the spotlight, but also cast an illuminating beam on Trump's entanglements with Epstein's realm, as reflected in the Lolita Express flight logs. The extent of Trump's visits to Epstein's private island remains veiled in mystery, prompting fervent speculation and conspiracy theories. Critics argue that Trump's connections to Epstein pose inquiries about his judgment and character. In contrast, supporters contend that Trump distanced himself upon learning of Epstein's criminal activities. Angel Ura, Mr. Clinton's spokesperson, sheds light on the past, revealing that Clinton traveled on Epstein's plane 4 times in 2002 and 2003, attributing these trips to the Clinton Foundation's endeavors. Each journey saw Mr. Clinton accompanied by a host of staff, foundation supporters, and his Secret Service security team. Yet the saga unfolds further as Gawker's 2015 flight records suggest around 12 flights, only to be countered by Fox News a year later, asserting a staggering 26 times aboard Mr. Epstein's plane. In the swirling storm of revelations, the public grapples with the knowledge that both Clinton and Trump were part of the baffling list. Despite Clinton's persistent denials, the absence of concrete evidence fuels an ongoing wonder about their connection to Epstein and the motivations behind their visits to his private sanctuary. With Clinton haunted by a history of scandals involving young girls, the intrigue deepens, especially surrounding the DVDs discovered by the FBI in Epstein's safe, believed to unveil illicit activities and the individuals involved. A longing emerges for the public to witness these hidden truths, a departure from the cliched news dished out by the media. Number 2. His associates. Within the unfolding narrative of Jeffrey Epstein's network, a singular name in his infamous Black Book emerges, inviting us to embark on a delicate exploration of the complex interplay of connections and influence woven by Epstein. Enter Chris Rock, the illustrious comedian renowned for his sharp wit in the realm of entertainment. The unexpected appearance of his name in Epstein's Black Book serves as a curious thread in the intricate tale of relationships surrounding the disgraced financier. However, this revelation demands a measured approach, urging us to refrain from hastily drawing conclusions. Epstein's Black Book, a bank of unrevealed emails and documents, acts as a window into the expansive network Epstein cultivated with celebrities, politicians, and business tycoons. With Within this expansive network, the inclusion of Chris Rock's name prompts thoughtful consideration of the nature of their association. While the Black Book doesn't offer concrete proof of illicit activities, it raises compelling questions about the dynamics between Epstein and Rock. Was their connection a mere casual acquaintance, or does it hint at a more secret collaboration? These queries echo in the exploration of Epstein's ties with the charismatic founder of Virgin Group, Richard Branson, whose presence in the Black Book adds another layer of worry. As we navigate this list of associations, it's crucial to acknowledge that the Black Book, in isolation, doesn't definitively signify criminal involvement. Instead, it acts as a catalyst for a deeper exploration into the nature of Epstein's relationships, prompting us to scrutinize the complexities that enshroud figures like Chris Rock and Richard Branson in the mysterious tale of Jeffrey Epstein. Unveiled in 2015, the Black Book sheds light on Jeffrey Epstein's deep entanglements with influential celebrities and politicians, a revelation that surfaced 6 years after his butler, Alfredo Rodriguez, attempted to profit from its secrets. Rodriguez, in a daring move, adorned the book with crucial notes, intending to leverage its contents for a substantial sum. Setting a hefty price tag of $50,000, he sought to sell this secret wealth of information to a lawyer involved in an ongoing lawsuit against Epstein. However, this brave venture led to Rodriguez's downfall as the lawyer promptly reported him to the FBI, resulting in charges of obstruction of justice. Within the billionaire's cryptic ledger, notable personalities like Alec Baldwin, Ralph Fiennes, and Courtney Love find their place. Rodriguez circled many names in the book, some labeled as witnesses, while a New York address bore the ominous annotation, apt for models. The entries under massage revealed a disturbing trail of underage victims. Among the circled names were Courtney Love, billionaire Les Wexner, former New Mexico Governor Bruce King, and Peter Soros, nephew to philanthropist George Soros. Following the book's release, Rodriguez's death came swiftly, leaving behind a cryptic legacy. He took the secrets embedded in those marked pages to his grave, shrouding the true significance of the names and notations in perpetual mystery. Number 1. Epstein is alive. Among the myriad questions surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide, a tricky web of failures and irregularities unfolds within the walls of the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC. The shocking revelation that the security cameras conveniently malfunctioned on the night of Epstein's demise further strengthens the mystique, leaving no visual trace of the significant moments. This intriguing detail only intensifies the shady nature of Epstein's controversial end. Further complicating the narrative, Epstein shared his cell with Nicholas Tartaglione, an unlikely companion given his background as both a former police officer and an accused murderer. Tartaglione's towering presence in this scenario fuels speculation. Did he play a role in Epstein's demise, acting as an accomplice or a silencer of secrets? The complexities deepen as we shift our gaze to the infamous Epstein Island on Little St. James, a private paradise shrouded in allegations of Epstein's involvement in illicit activities with underage girls. The island itself becomes a symbol of mystery, with whispers of underground tunnels and secret rooms heightening the air of conspiracy. The speculation takes an intriguing turn as some suggest Epstein might have exploited these hidden spaces to orchestrate his escape and fake his own death. Adding to the drama of uncertainty, skepticism surrounds the official autopsy report, prompting experts to question its validity and propose the notion that Epstein's death was a staged performance. Could it be possible that Epstein's body was stealthily substituted with a look-alike? Considering Epstein's vast wealth and influential connections, the orchestration of such an elaborate scheme emerges as a conceivable scenario. Reports of alleged Epstein sightings after his death, including drone footage capturing a figure resembling him on his private island, fuel the flames of speculation that he may have indeed faked his death, assuming a life of obscurity. While these sightings remain unverified, they weave seamlessly into the intricate tale of conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's mysterious fate. One particularly compelling narrative proposes Epstein's alleged ties to Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency. This theory suggests that Epstein operated as an intelligence asset, utilizing his connections to gather compromising information on influential figures. In this complex narrative, Epstein's death becomes a carefully staged act, shielding those involved and allowing him to secretly continue his covert operations. The intrigue of Epstein's demise only deepens, leaving the world captivated by the layers of secrecy surrounding his stormy life and perplexing end. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.